Doing great? Yes? Okay, very good. So before going to the topic, as you already know that we will study about the topic soil, that is the topic which is present in CBSE class 7. So before going to the topic, let us first find out what Swiflearn is. As you already know what is Swiflearn, that it is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. It is the most sincere because we try harder. So over here, what type of classes you will get? All the classes in SwiftLearn are 100% live and interactive classes. So over here, you can ask any sort of doubt, any confusion about any of the topic related to the subject to your teacher, and the teacher will explain everything to you in the class only. Right? Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every students of our badges because our badges consist of maximum 6 students and not more than that. Hi Manda, how are you? Okay. Now thirdly, which we have is we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team which continuously who track on the students progress. So how you are doing in the classroom, how you are uh, doing in the homework, how you are performing in the different test series, everything is tracked, and accordingly, you will get the feedback so that you will be able to improve yourself. Fine. And the last one is we cover the syllabus, which is very important as per your school examination schedule, and also we handle the custom request. So, whatever you have in your school, you can tell us, so accordingly, we can manage the our schedule and we can do the different topics with you first which is going on in your school which is having in your school exam, and later on we will go to the different other topics. Fine. So like this we handle the custom requests. So these are our general features in SwiftLearn. Let us find out what are the key features of SwiftLearn. So our key features is we keep a detailed progress report for each and every students where it is marked how you are performing in the classroom, in which topic you are strong, which topic you are lagging in so that you need some of the improvements, as well as how you are doing the homework, how you are performing with your group in the badges. Everything is tracked and you will get the report in certain intervals, right? Secondly, we have the Swiflearn Academic Test Series, which in short we call as the SATs, where you will be able to perform and you will see where you are standing internationally. Fine. Thirdly, you can take unlimited practice test after completing each and every topic. Okay, hi Yash. How are you? Okay, so I'm looking into my chat box. I'm seeing that everyone is joining. So please join and stay with us. So in the practice test, you will be able to do a practice all sort of question answer. It can be the objectives as well as the subjective questions. Objective generally include the filling the blanks, true, false, MCQs, the one word answer as well as the very short answer for 1 mark or 2 mark, as well as we have the subjective test which is very much important because if you can't write the proper answer, the main keywords in your answer, you can lose marks, right? So the practice of this subjective test is also very important, and we have a very strong teachers over here who will be able to give you the tips how to write the answer, how to get good marks so that you will be able to score very good marks in both the school as well as in the board exam. So these are all our key features which we have in SwiftLearn. So never be late. Please book a free trial class and experience all these features with us. Learn with us, right? Okay. Okay, Yash, I've got it. Okay, so please subscribe our channel in YouTube as you already do. I know that. Please press on the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the updates of the upcoming classes. Fine. So stay with SwiftLearn, stay with me. Please like, comment, and share with all your friends and family members. So now let us move on to the topic, right? Okay, so as I have already said that today's topic of discussion is soil, and this is the second session of soil. So in the first session, let me remind you what we have already discussed. We have discussed what is soil, what are the composition of the soil, what are the different layers of the soil, okay, and how soil is formed. So these are the main things which we already discussed in the previous session, right? So let us see what we will discuss today. We will mainly discuss about the different types of the soil, right? So in today's session we will describe what are the different types of the soil, mainly the sandy soil, clay soil and the loamy soil. These are the three main types of the soil, where they are found, what are their characteristic features, and what type of crops can be grown on these types of soil, right? So we will discuss all these things. And secondly, we will discuss about the property of the soil, which is a very important property, that is the percolation rate of the water of in soil. So how the water is absorbed within the soil, it will say you the percolation rate, right? So how to measure this percolation rate, this also we will see by doing some of the sums. So this is what we will discuss in today's session. So let's start, right? I guess you all are ready. Yes, okay, chalo. So let us first revise what we have already done in the previous session. We have already studied about the soil and its composition, right? So what are the different things which are present within the soil? The mixture of what makes the soil, we already have discussed in the previous session. So can you tell me now, what is soil? Yes, let me see who can give me the correct answer. Yes, yes, Yash, will you be able to say what is soil? Yeah, a very simple definition of the soil is it is the mixture of the minerals, humus, rock particles as well as the different organic matters, right? So these totally mix up to form the soil. So already we have discussed what is the humus. It is formed from the dead plants matters, right, which gives a dark coloration to the soil. The different rock particles which are broken down to form the soil, as well as the different organic matters which are present, which actually decompose from the different dead materials of plants as well as the animals. So and also the various types of minerals are present. So the mixture of all these substances make up the complete soil. So actually the soil depends from one place to another due to the variety of these types of mixture. Clear? Okay, chalo. Now let me ask you another question. We have already discussed in the previous session, that is how the soil is formed. Yes, who will be able to give me the correct answer first? Yes, by the process of what we have studied about, a very specific process which helps in the formation of the soil. Let me see who can give me the correct answer. Yes, by the process of weathering, right? Yes. So we have already studied about the process of weathering, right? So what is weathering? It is the breaking down of the huge rocks by the action of the wind, water, and climate, which make down the very small particles of the rocks, which actually help to form the soil. And this process of formation of the soil is known as weathering, right? So these are the different things which we have already explained in detail in the previous session, Hannah. Yes, so you remember, I guess. Yes, and do you remember this question also? Like we have already seen that the soil is whether the soil is same in the different places or they are different in the different places. Yes, are they same or different in the different states of India? You can see, you can imagine all the various types of crops which are grown in the different soil. What type of crops are mainly growing in which region of India? We have discussed all these things, है ना? Yes, so they are different in different places, right? So the soil is different in the different places, and we can classify mainly this soil on the basis of the proportion of all the particles which are present within them, right? So the particles which are present within the soil, they vary in their sizes, okay? Some of the soil have a very large particles, and some of them are very just smooth and very tiny particles which are present, which can be blended very easily, you know. So that is why we can classify the soil into on the basis of proportion of the different particles present within it in three main types. Can you name what are the three main types of soil? Yes, they are the sandy soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. Okay, so the sandy soil, clay soil, and the loamy soil, these are the three main types of the soil on the basis of the particles which are present within this type of soil. Fine. So are you ready? Yes, we will discuss about all these types of soil in detail. Fine. Okay. So first is the sandy soil. So have you ever gone to the beach, the sea beaches and or the desert area, and have you seen the sand over there? Yes, you have seen the sand, right? Have you taken it in your hand? Yes, and have you felt it by touching the soil, how it is feeling? Yes, there are the larger grains which are present within the soil, right? The sand grains or the actually the sandy soil contains the big particles and in greater proportion, right? So we can say the sand are very loose. If you just put your fingers like this, the sand will go through your fingers, Hannah. Yes, so they are not tightly packed, right? They are very loosely packed and they cannot retain that much amount of water. And there are the big particles which are present in the sandy soil, right? You will be able to find out this sandy soil generally in the arid or semi arid region as well as in the coastline, okay, along the coastline. Fine. So these are the sandy soils. Now let us find out what are the different properties of the sandy soil. So first of all, I have already said that it is very loose, very light also in weight. If you take up a handful of sand, you will not feel any weight at all, right? So that is very light in weight. Secondly, it is very dry. Okay, if you put some water in the sandy soil, you will see that the soil will not absorb the water. The water absorption capacity of this sandy soil is very less. Okay, so they are very dry. You can find it in the desert region. I am very sure you have gone to desert region or the sea beaches and you have seen the sand, right? Yes. Thirdly, they are well aerated. How they are well aerated? Because the particles are having much spaces between them, so the air can easily pass through them. Hannah? Yes. So that is why the sandy soil are very largely well aerated. Okay, so the air can go inside the soil very easily. That is why the different types of animals which are present in the desert region, they make the burrow and live under the sand, है ना? So that they can keep themselves cool during the daytime and also they take the air from the soil, right? Fourthly, this sandy soil are very low in nutrients and that is why it does not help that much amount of crops to grow on the sandy soil, right? Yes, very good. Yes, Yash. Okay. So the nutrient content is very low and that is why it is not that much fertile soil and it does not give that much fertility to grow to the growth of the different crops, right? Now, coming to the fifth property of the sandy soil, it is a quick, it has a very quick water drainage system. Okay, so like we can see, if you pour some water on the sand, you will find that it is not absorbed by the sand, rather, the water can drain through the sand. Right, and that is the main property of the sandy soil. It cannot retain the water within it, or it cannot hold the water, but the water drain away through the sand, right? And the last thing is that it is very easy to work with this sandy soil. Why? Because they are very light in weight, very loosely packed, so very easily you can dig it up and you can make any sort of things. Have you ever seen in the sea beaches, you can, if you go to the Orissa beach, sea beaches, sometimes it is seen, or you can go to the Maharashtra also and you can see that there are the various types of figures which are made up of, by the sand, right? The various artists go there and make the different, like, idols of the different god or goddesses, or you can see the different structures of the different animals which are all made up with the sand in the sea beaches. The exhibition also happens over there for that, right? So it is very easy to work with this type of soil, that is the sandy soil, and you will be able to make any sort of structure, okay, because it is very easily you can dig it up and very light in weight, right? So this is all about the sandy soil. Now let us find out what are the different types of crops which can be grown in the sandy soil. It does not allow that much amount of crops to grow into it because it is not that much fertile, but you can grow some of the crops to a certain extent, like you can grow the carrot, radish, you can grow sometime the potato. Yes, have you ever seen the potato sometimes have the soil over it, the sandy soil over it, the very larger grains over it, right? Yes, then tomato and corn, right? These are the different crops which you can, to a certain extent, grow in the sandy soil. Fine. Now let us move on to the second type of soil, that is the clay soil. So, have you ever seen the clay soil for making the clay, like the different dolls which are made up of clay, or the various types of vessels which are made up of clay? Yes. So the clay soil generally contain the greater proportion of fine particles. The particles which are present are not that much big and they are very fine. Okay. And you can make various types of things, various types of structure with this clay soil. Okay. Because its water retention capacity is very high. Okay, so let us find out where we can find the clay soil. So have you went uh, to the different river bed? Yes, you can see, you can find this type of soil in the river beds of Ganga as well as the Godavari, Krishna also, right? You can find this type of soil mainly in Tamil Nadu, then Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, in this region you can find this clay soil more, right? So this type of soil is comparatively heavy. If you can take it within your hand, you will be able to feel the weight of this clay soil. It is weight, like its weight is very high, as well as it is very much sticky, and it is wet because it can retain the water within it. Okay, so it is heavy, it is having, yes beta, yes Yash, Yash, the proportion of small particles is maximum in this type of soil. Very good, yes. So they are comparatively heavy and sticky. It will stick to your hand, right? It is less aerated also, as it is very closely or very tightly packed with each other because of the type of particles which are present in the clay soil. The air cannot pass that much amount through this clay soil. Fine. So that is why the air will not be able to pass through this type of soil, but it can hold a lot of water within it. Okay, so the water holding capacity is very high, but it is less aerated and sticky and wet and heavier. Okay, in weight. So we can find this type of soil, as I have already said, in the river beds of the different river in India, and the different types of crops which can grow in this type of soil are broccoli, cauliflower. You can grow the beans, peas, sprouts, cabbages also. So these are the different types of crops which we can uh, grow in the clay soil. Yes, Yash, the particles of clay soil are smooth to touch. Exactly. When you will touch it, you will not feel any sort of grains. It will be very smooth and easily blend. Okay. Yes, very good. Now, let us move on to the third type of soil, which is the loamy soil. So, what is the loamy soil? It is a mixture of this sand and clay soil. Okay, and the other different particles which are present in this loamy soil is silt. Okay, so silt is a particle which we can say it is a particle which is uh, in whose size is in between the sand and the clay, right? So the loamy soil have this silt as well as the mixture of the sand and clay. Now where will you find this loamy soil? Yes, any idea, any states where we find this type of soil more? Yes, can you see the texture of this soil? Yes. Can you see the texture of the soil and find out where we can find this type of soil, where you have seen it already? Yes, we can find this type of soil in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, as well as Bihar. Okay, and this soil is perfect for the growth of all the different types of crops, like the Rabi crop as well as the Kharif crops also. Fine. So let us see what are the different properties present in this loamy soil. So first of all, it is the best soil for growing all the different types of plants, right? Because some of it is the mixture of both the sand as well as the clay, right? So it helps all the different plants and the crops to grow well, and it has the most fertility in this type of soil, right? It is rich in nutrients, all the different nutrients which are needed for the plant for their proper growth and development. It can be given by this soil. Thirdly, it is very perfectly aerated, so the air can pass through it, so that the root of the plants can also get the air for breathing, right? As well as the different types of organisms which are present within the soil, they also need the air for breathing, right? Yes. Okay. And the fourth main thing is it has a very good water holding capacity, right? It has a very good water holding capacity. So if you put the water within it, it can hold the water for a long period of time, so that the roots of the plant can absorb the water from this soil, right? So this loamy soil we can find already, I have told you, in the different states of India like Punjab, UP, Haryana, Bihar, and it helps in the proper growth of the crops. Fine, all types of crops. Yes, Yash, yes, it is the silt soil. It has the silt within it, and the particles which are present in the loamy soil is of the medium size. Yes, very good. Now, let me find out who can give me the correct answer first. So the first one is, what is soil made up of? Let me see who can give me the correct answer. Yes, Yash, will you be able to write it down? Yes. Okay, so the soil is made up of the mixture of the different minerals, the organic materials, and the humus, right? Okay. Now, which soil is rich in nutrients and is best for growing plants? Let me see who can give me the second answer correctly. Yes, which soil is very appropriate for the growth of the different plants, different crops, because of its fertility. It's very much fertile. Yes, it is the loamy soil. Very good. And which soil is most aerated, where the air can pass through it very easily? It can be the sandy soil. Exactly. So the sandy soil is mostly aerated. Fine. So have you got all the answers? Clear, eh? Chalo. Let's now move on to another part of the discussion for today's session. Now, before going exactly to the percolation rate of the water, uh, of the soil, let us first find out with the help of an activity. So take a glass of water and pour it on the floor. Okay, and take the same amount of water and pour it within the natural flower pot. Okay, with a plant and soil which are with the pot having the soil. So can you tell what will happen with the water in both the cases? Yes, let me see who can tell me. What will happen to the water in both the cases, when you were pouring the water in the tiles and you are pouring the water within the flower pot? So after some time we will see that the water which you have already poured within the tile on the tiles, so it will remain same, right? But the water which you are pouring inside the flower pot, you will not be able to see the water. It will disappear or it will reduce. Why, can you say? Yes, why will you see that the water over here is reducing or it is disappearing? Yes, any answer? Okay, so it is actually disappeared because already the soil which is present within the pot, it has absorbed the water, right? So the soil has the water absorbing capacity. So when the water is poured on the soil, it is absorbed by the soil. Fine. So have you seen this type of picture in the agricultural field, where there are, just before the growth of the crops, the water is given, and also after the growth also it is given a proper irrigation system is there for giving the water, to supply the water to the agricultural field. Yes, why is it done so? Because the soil will absorb the water, and within the soil where there are the roots of the plants, they will absorb the water from the soil and they will be able to grow properly. Right? Yes? Okay. Now, let us find out what is the absorption rate of the water by the different kinds of soil. So, who can absorb the soil water is सबसे ज़्यादा? Yes. Yes, the highest is the clay soil, right? The clay soil can absorb the water सबसे ज़्यादा, सबसे highest or सबसे fastest, right? Yes. Secondly, comparatively less amount of water can be absorbed by the loamy soil. And in case of the sandy soil, it is the lowest. So, as we have already seen that the sandy soil cannot mm, absorb that much amount of water, but the water can drain through the sandy soil, right? Because the sand is very loose, the particles are very loose in the sandy soil. Okay, so the maximum amount of water absorption capacity is there in the clay soil, then comparatively less in case of the loamy soil, and it is very less in case of the sandy soil. Fine. Okay, now ये जो like they are absorbing the water, right? So do you know it is named by a particular type of process, the process by which the water passes down through the soil and the soil is absorbing the water. This process is known as percolation. Okay, so the water percolates with different speeds in the different types of soil. Now see over here we can see a glass is half filled with the soil and somebody is pouring some water within it. At first, the soil is absorbing as much of water as it can, and then the water level is going upward. Right? So we can say this is the example of the percolation. So what is percolation? The process of water passes down slowly through the soil is known as percolation of water in soil. Clear hai? So you have got an idea what is percolation now? Yeah? Okay, now we will study what is the percolation rate. Okay, so how will you calculate that the different soil is absorbing the water in different time? Yes, so you have to find out the percolation rate of each and every soil. Right, so percolation rate is always equal to the amount of water given to it divided by the percolation time in minutes. So, how much amount of water you are pouring within it, how much milliliter of water, and how much time is taken by the soil to absorb it, or the water is going through the soil. This will help you to understand the percolation rate. Clear hai? So, can you tell me this answer? The soil sample from a park percolates 400 milliliter of water in 10 minutes. So, what will be the rate of percolation over here? Yes, let me see who can give me the correct answer first. Yes. So already we have said that the rate of percolation is equal to the amount of water we are pouring into it divided by the time taken by for the percolation, right? So what will be the answer? Yes, the answer will be 400 milliliter divided by 10, that means 40 milliliter per minute, right? Yes, so the rate of percolation is the amount of water divided by the percolation time. That means 400 milliliter is the amount of water we are giving, and 10 minute में वो percolation हो रहा है, right? So 400 divided by 10 will be 40 milliliter per minute is the percolation rate of this soil sample in the park. Clear hai? Yes, very good, Yash. 40 milliliter per minute. Okay, so never forget to write the proper unit beta. So that is 40 milliliter per minute because we are also calculating with the help of the time. है ना? Yes. Okay. Now, so I guess you have already got an idea what is percolation rate, and the different types of soil, the various properties of the three main types of soil, that is the clay soil, loamy soil, and the sandy soil, right? So, let us now quickly discuss some of the question answers. Fine. Okay. Which soil has the maximum water absorption capacity? Yes, let me find who can give me the correct answer first in the chat box. Yes, Yash. Will you be able to say which soil has the maximum water absorption capacity? Yes, it is the clay soil, right? Very good. Now, coming to the next question, which properties of clay soil makes it suitable for crops? Yes. How can you say that the clay soil is suitable for the growth of the crops? Which property actually help them to grow the crop or make the soil fertile? Yes, it is due to the maximum absorption of the water, right? Okay. Now coming to the third question that says it took 6 minutes for 600 milliliter of water to percolate through soil, right? So now calculate the percolation rate. Yes, what we have studied that percolation rate can be calculated by which is equal to the amount of water which we are pouring in the soil divided by the time taken by the percolation, right? So the amount over here will be 600 milliliter. Yes, let us find out the amount is 600 milliliter and the time taken is 6 minutes, right? So we can say 600 divided by 6. Okay, we can find it like 100, right? So what will be the unit? Unit will be 100 milliliter per minute. Okay, so it is taking the percolation rate of this soil is 100 milliliter per minute. Fine. Okay, now let us find out what is the last answer that says what is the topmost layer of the soil. Yes, we have already studied what is the topmost layer of the soil in the last class. Remember? Yes, it is the A horizon. Hannah? Very good. So we have got all the answers till now, right? Very good, Yash. 100 milliliter per minute. Okay, never miss out the minute unit. Okay, so it will be 100 milliliter per minute. Fine. Chalo. Now let us find out some of the fun facts. So it says that according to the Natural Resources Conservation Service, soil scientists have identified over 70,000 kinds of soil in the US. Okay, and many of the today's antibiotics have been derived from soil. For example, the penicillin. Do you know that the penicillin is derived from, first it was derived from the fungus Penicillium notatum. Okay, so this fungus is also present in the soil. So from there we can get the antibiotics. The antibiotics are the medicines which are actually help to cure the different bacterial infection in our body. Hannah? Yes? Okay. Now coming to the third funny fact that is earthworm can eat up to a third of their body weight each day. Can you imagine? Yes. And the sandy soil of the Namib desert in Africa has existed for more than 55 million years according to the World Wildlife Federation. Okay. So keep it in mind this fun fact. Okay. Done? Chalo. So let me give you a challenge for today's session. Yeah. So your challenge of the day for today's session after doing the today's session is in towns and cities generally we can see that the bore wells have to be dug very deep, right, to get the proper amount of water as compared to the bore wells which are dug in the villages, right? Now can you tell me why is it so? Can you give me a suitable reason for this? Yes, a good reason for this why the borewell is dug very deep inside the ground in the towns and the cities, but it is not done that much deep in case of the villages. Yes, anybody can you tell me? Yeah, because first of all, the use of the water in case of the town and city is very huge due to its huge demand, huge population, right? So that is why it is reducing the groundwater level. And another main reason is in the villages there is huge ground which are exposed to the like the soil is exposed over there, and you can give the water which can be percolated very easily. But in case of towns and cities, we will not be able to find out that much amount of open soil, right? Most of the towns and cities, there are, we can see the beach roads, right, which are very hard, so the water percolation rate will be very less. The water will not be able to get inside it. Okay, so that is why we have to dig very deep to get the proper amount of groundwater in case of towns and cities. And it is not happen in case of the villages. We can just dig a very shallow well and we can get the proper amount of water, because there the water percolation rate is very high. Clear, eh? After this much, any question, any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. I'll definitely clear your doubt. Yes? Okay, now let's play one game having certain questions. Okay, so first question is your match the following. So let me see who can give me the correct answer first. First is the earthworm. So where can we find the earthworm? In which type of soil? We can generally find the earthworm in the A horizon of the moist soil, right? Okay. Now, can you tell me the garden lizard? Where can we find it? We generally find it in the surface of the soil, right? Okay. Now, can you tell me the crab? Where can we find the crab? Yes, we generally find the crab in the sand and the beaches. In the sea beaches, we can find the crabs, red colored crabs, which are going around the beaches, right? Yes. Now, can you tell me, like, where can we find the rodents? We can find the rodents who dig the burrow and live within the soil, right? And the scorpion. Scorpions are present in the deep, narrow holes in the dry soil. Mainly in the desert region, we can find the very dark black colored scorpion, right? Okay, so let's check. Yes, all of them are correct, right? Now let us move on to the next question. The percolation rate is measured in which unit? Yes, which unit is appropriate for the rate of percolation? Yes, it is the milliliter per minute, right? Okay, great. Now let's find out the third answer. Yes, the paddy requires dash soil to grow. What type of soil is required for the paddy to grow? Yes, what do you think? It is the clay soil? Yes, correct. Okay, and let's go to the last question. It says true and false. Like, sandy soil is used for making toys. Is it true or false? Sandy soil is used for making toys? No, right? It will be false, right? Yes. So let's see how much have you scored, all of you? 8 out of 8. Very great. Very good. Okay, so let us now find out. We have already studied a lot about the soil in today's session. I hope you have all understood, right? Yes, Yash, it's false. The last answer was false. Yes, very good. So we have already discussed about the different types of soil in today's session, which are the sandy soil, clay soil, and the loamy soil. And also we have discussed about the various properties of the soil, right? Mainly we have studied about the percolation rate of the water in soil and how it differs in the different soil, right? I hope you have no doubt. If you have any doubt, please write it in the chat box. I will clear all your doubt. So thank you for staying with us, staying with Swiflearn, and enjoying this session. So we will again meet in the next session. So never forget to subscribe our channel in YouTube. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any update of the upcoming sessions of Swiflearn, right? So please stay with Swiflearn, like, comment, and share with all your friends and family members. So we will again meet in the next session. So till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.